ready, go. Or here, go to the screen.
What?
The title screen.
We're on the title screen.
You're right. Sorry. Wait for it to connect. Yeah. Hey, welcome back. Man, it's been a while.
Has been.
A
long while.
I honestly forgot what to do yesterday when it was time for BattleBots again.
I had to remember I literally forgot what channel the show was on. I'm serious. I was like, is it on 4, 7, 10?
Well, yesterday was a pretty good episode. Overall, you and I apparently agreed, but it kind of went quick.
It did. Felt fast.
Yeah, and it's even more sad that there's only one more episode.
2.
No, there's one.
1?
Yeah, it's just one.
Oh.
It's one 2-hour-long episode.
Oh. Well, yeah. That's twice the fun.
Well, anyway, we should go back. Let's do what we know. Let's talk about the fights. We have a special guest joining us. So, Andrea, you should come over here. We're going to talk about Nightmare vs. Betta fight. So, yeah, Nightmare vs. Betta. I was so happy that both of these robots got this far.
Me too. I like both of them. They have so much personality.
I was so happy to see Nightmare do its thing this episode.
Oh, yeah.
So excited.
Yeah. I mean, we should probably just go right into the episode. It did really well. And Kenny and Chris said at one point, but it was Nightmare's fight to lose. And, you know, just looking at it, the first minute practically of them doing the dance and not actually hitting each other drove me absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And Nightmare gyroing just enough every time. Every time I was like, oh, he's going to flip over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Jim's got the driving figured out.
He does. Betta had a good plan, I think, of, trying to stay away from that gigantic disc.
Oh, yeah, the Betta blocker. I don't understand what happened to the Betta blocker. Like, it just fell apart.
I think it was like tack welded titanium or something. I'm not really sure, but it didn't really seem like it was very rigidly attached if it came off that easily.
Yeah, it was. I felt like it was held on with like some tape and I don't know, gravity maybe because when it did the little hop there, I mean it hopped 3 feet in the air probably, but it did this little hop and then it just came off.
Well, I love that they wrote Betta blocker on it too. I mean, we know because we were there, but in the first season, Tombstone actually puts Betta blocker on their robot. They had this like Lexan piece that went over the top of the bar, essentially, like the frame on top of their bar. So I was glad to see that come back because I thought it was really clever and it didn't make it onto the show.
Oh yeah, it's a great name. So yeah, you have that little extra trivia from last season. Yeah, that was the Betta blocker. It was a funny little hat. It was funny to watch for a couple seconds, but
did he make that out of wheel guards? Is that what it was?
Was that made out of the wheel guards?
It looks kind of like it is.
I don't think so. He has a photo.
This is a conspiracy.
We're getting a head nod.
Speculation.
Head shake.
Yeah, we're getting a head shake from.
I saw him make it. It was made of scrap.
Scrap.
Okay, it was made from scrap. There is a photo of the Lincoln guys welding it up for him. There was like a picture of, I think it's Lon and Jim there, like welding this thing up, and it looked pretty good.
It does, yeah.
They forgot the seam in the center, or didn't do it for some reason.
Or they forgot bolts to bolt
or
it down.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I mean, it was well made. See, clearly.
Do you know what happened to Betta?
All sorts of stuff. Show the photos of some of the damage to Betta. It was all sorts of messed up. So Jim has these on his on his website for Nightmare. But there were pieces of the frame missing. On the right there is a photo of the hammerhead, and it's all sorts of cracked, and there's a giant gashes out of it. In fact, in the video, you can see a little, silvery sliver of something disappear, and that was part of that hammer just cracking off and flying up into the rafters somewhere. So there was some serious damage, and of course, there was the floor snail. Another floor snail from him, which is hilarious.
Erica Spentowski, Jim's wife, is actually wearing that as a necklace. So she owns a necklace that is part of the BattleBots.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, they cut it off and gave it to her, I guess, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
One thing that I was really interested to see was how wiggly the Betta hammer is. Like, look at this sequence of hits. Now, granted, it hits Nightmare's disc, and it really kind of shows, how much force is there and how not stiff things are in real life, because the axe, like the hammer head, twists radially about its shaft, and the whole arm like wiggles in the photos. It's weird.
Well, in the opening sequence, they show like Betta doing his little flip dance from the previous match, and when you see that in slow motion, you see that the whole assembly kind of like flopping around.
Yeah.
So
that photo of it doing the dance gives you some idea of how heavy that hammer is, that it would actually make a difference. And I mean, one thing that the photos of it wiggling like that, don't really give you is how stiff it really is in real life. I mean, it's a heck of a thing. You could do some serious stuff to it, and there it is, just wobbling away. It was weird. So let's see what's next. Yeti and Megatento. So get out of here. And who's next? We got another. Yeah, you guys never decided. So one of you come up here. We have a special guest for all the things this evening because we have so many people helping for Tale of the Tape. So Greg, my brother Greg, we have 2 bales. You're in a bale sandwich, sir.
Oh yeah, high five. High five.
So Yeti Megatento. I'm so happy with how Yeti's been doing. It's becoming my favorite robot of the season. Excluding HyperShock, but like
no bias.
Hashtag duh. But I mean, Yeti keeps working. It's simple. It has all brush motors that didn't go with any of the brushless stuff. It's tried and true. But I mean, just look at it. It goes right out of the gate. Instantly damages one of the wheels on Megatento so that there's, no hope of it moving, and pushes it into the screws, and then for fun just obliterates the wheels on that side.
Gone.
It was pretty great. Yeah. I mean, now understanding how low the defense numbers are. Yeah, this is my favorite part. I love the eye patch.
Pirate Tento.
It just with the peg leg. it just.
Is that a leg?
Yeah, it is a leg. It's a little wooden peg leg. Thanks, Paul. Paul is an artist, a true artist.
Is there a hook hand?
And a hat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got the hat.
Wow.
It does have a hook. Oh my goodness.
Wow, you are great.
This is deep.
Lisa, make Pirate Tento, Mega Pirate Tentomushi for next season. I like
theme Tento.
I like pirate versions so much more.
I think she should have a variety of themes.
What other theme could she have?
Mexican Tento.
Oh yeah, because they had those.
Tento.
Bendy Tento. What were some others? Greg had some good ones last night. Fireman Megatento.
Yeah, if you made a toy set, you could have Megatento and Megakento.
Oh, and have Megatento Barbie.
Yeah, Megatento
yeah.
Dreamhouse.
Oh man, you're good.
Megatento's Dreamhouse. Yeah. Just going back to one of the photos of it, just obliterating the wheels. I mean,
Coulson's though.
Coulson's, yeah. Those gray wheels that a lot of robots use
are super brittle.
They're really brittle. They're really great for traction.
Yeah.
And they're cheap.
And they're readily available. They're usually for casters, for like tables and things like that. In fact, the table that Paul's using right now has Coulson casters. They're really great. And in the smaller weight classes, they hold up really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems that, especially when you're stacking up the smaller ones, they have no hope.
Yeah.
You have to use something that can, get a chunk ripped out of it and it'll still sort of work.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that photo, it's just the ring of the tread,
Right.
the
You
hub
can see
in the
it
center.
there in the video.
Yeah. The hub is gone, and the tread is just cracked around it. It's, there's what do you?
From Fry Guy that says, "Don't knock the Coulsons."
Hey, listen, Fry Guy, You make a big robot with Coulson's, we'll beat it up, and then we can have this discussion. For 3-pound robots made of a Coulson robot, fine. Coulson bot's awesome. For 30-pound robots, great. For 15 pounds, awesome. But when you get to 250 pounds, it's just they can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of the different robots that compete, and by the end of the match, there's chunks out of the wheels.
Yeah. In fact, no, you go.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's why I think a lot of people are favoring the aluminum wheel with the foam tire, like we used, you guys used, Bronco's using. I think that's a really reliable solution.
Yeah,
they don't get flat.
Yeah, another example of that is in the next fight with Tombstone and Brutus. Brutus has Coulson's in the front, and they instantly get obliterated.
Oh yeah.
So let's go to that one.
You can get out of here.
And now we get switch out for Alex. So Alex, come over here, Alex.
Playing the video,
I was impressed. I was not impressed with how well the wedges were held on, but I was impressed how much drift.
Super drift.
Yeah.
Brutus got out of it.
As compared to us, we got.
Yeah, I mean, look at it.
He got the
mega drift.
Yeah.
You can actually see. I don't know if it's high enough res in the stream, but you can see where the paint was ripped off, like just rubbed away by the tires in the red square. So, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. This fight was actually kind of funny because one of the few times you actually get to see Ray kind of serious.
Yeah.
And,
like
and pensive.
Yeah.
He was very interested in
Which
seeing who he was going to
bar?
fight next.
Yeah, I mean they
had
had
to choose which wheel and bar combo.
Yeah, I mean they had lunch and they seemed to be having a good time at lunch.
Anytime you walk by their pit at the event, they're not really.
They're
not really worried.
They were like that the whole time.
There was one point in time I remember when they were actually a little bit frantic, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Ray's frantic.
Like, what is
What's
happening?"
And it really ended up not being that serious, but it was something that got him a little bit flustered, and that was a little bit put everybody else on edge.
Yeah, flustered Ray is kind of strange. I mean, usually this is about as exciting as a moment with Ray gets pre-fight. It's like, oh, which bar am I going to ruin you with? And I didn't realize that bar was that thick. That the biggest bar. It's 1.5 inches thick.
Mm-hmm.
How big was the bar that you guys broke?
Yeah, maybe
about that big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he said this is the heaviest bar he's ever run. So I know that he put more weight into these bars. I think they were like upwards of 70-something pounds.
Crazy. Well, he had to take off his normal rubber tires to put on the foam ones, just to get some extra weight.
I mean, it's not. Yes, it's a big spinning bar that's scary, but our weapon weighs 60 pounds. So, and our robot's only 200 pounds. So it's.
Our weapon is 40 pounds.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, having a really heavy weapon, but.
Well, if our weapon was heavier, we would be having issues.
Yes.
We have plenty of issues as it is.
You'd have issues like we do, where our robot is very front heavy. So
your issues.
I think there's a delicate balance between weapon weight and weight distribution. But anyways,
I think that's something Adam seemed to do pretty well. Actually, was how well it drove and how well he managed to get that weight kind of in the right places.
The thing that seems to have. He made two, I think, errors in this fight. One, he only used one gun. That was a mistake. If he had used both guns, clearly it would have been a different story.
I think he had weight issues.
Yeah, he probably had weight issues. But he said that he took out the extra batteries or whatever.
Yeah, they were having weight issues.
And it looks like he's using the rubber tires that we traded him some foam tires for. So and those rubber tires are like 7 pounds each. So he could have saved another couple pounds. You guys, Witch Doctor gave him some AR plate, right?
Yeah. So I mean, after our fight with Tombstone last year, obviously we kind of showed that the big heavy wedge was a huge advantage fighting somebody like Tombstone. So when we found out Brutus was going up against Tombstone, we had a bunch of extra AR plate that we had amassed that we were bringing as spares for our robot. So yeah, we're like, hey, Adam, take this stuff and slap it on your robot and beef that thing up as much as you can. So I think the intention was he was going to put those on the front and take out some batteries, like he said in the match or before the match, but he didn't wind up putting those plates on. So I don't know where the extra weight did go.
I think it might have gone into the tires.
Tires?
'Cause we weighed them when we got back, because I was surprised how heavy they were. And
They're solid, right?
yeah, they're solid foam filled and rubber, and I mean it's still open or might be closed cell. It's really dense foam. They're like 7 pounds each, and the foam ones are like 2 pounds. So you can save 10 pounds like that just by going to the foam wheels.
I saw him a lot of the time. He was spending over by the Lincoln guys, plasma cutting out frame.
Yeah, at the beginning they were way overweight though.
But he was doing that throughout the competition.
To try to
kept going back
shift weight
around, and I remember for the last fight with Tombstone, I'm pretty sure he was out there perfecting it, and he's like, I remember telling me he's ready. He's got the weight where he wants it.
Gotcha.
And I guess that involved putting on some beefier tires because of mobility.
Gotcha.
If you can't drive, you lose.
Right.
Maybe he thought going with those big heavy ones would give him a little bit more advantage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just looking at like the some of the hits from Tombstone, it's clearly a lot of energy, and fighting that, especially with 2 separate wedges on the front. I think you guys figured it out with Witch Doctor. Have one giant plow on the front that's you have to rip the whole thing off, because if you go through frame by frame in this fight, one wedge gets ripped off and then the other one does.
Right.
And apparently they were wub mounted with those rubber shock mounting things like you use and we use, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah. I mean, eventually he was disarmed.
Did we watch the fight already?
I guess we could quickly go through the fight again, because I guess we stopped it prematurely.
So yeah, Adam's drifting like a boss.
Yeah, I mean, out. I was proud, and that was a good hit.
But then he didn't hit at the side. He did
an
awesome drift and ended up hitting him head on.
Exactly.
Yeah, hit him head on and loses like some sort of drive here. I don't know what it was. I think one of the
wedges got ripped off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
there goes a Coulson
issue, or Adam had said that it was a motor-related issue.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the front wedges were just wrecked, and then I'm sure something happened because of that.
Maybe.
He was saying on Facebook today that they opened up those Black Maxes, the MPC Black Maxes that they were using. It's the only motor they had in there. They had 2 for drive and 1 for weapon. And it was apparently the magnets just obliterated, and that was the issue, and that the magnets were only held on with like double stick tape or something.
Right, but I mean,
there's no epoxy or anything.
Do you guys battle harden your mag motors before you use them?
We should have.
Yeah.
So we do.
Everyone else does.
So
we luckily didn't run into any issues, but any reasonable people usually do.
Few years ago with our middleweight, we realized that the magnets, whatever one little drop of epoxy they use to hold the magnets on is not adequate. Since then we've been epoxying our magnets on, and we've never had a problem since then. Knock on microphone. So
sorry.
I mean, it's definitely something that needs you need to make sure that your stuff's battle hardened. And obviously, unfortunately, Adam had learned the hard way that Black Maxes are not as stout as he thought they were.
Yeah. Well, there's they mentioned that, I think they mentioned that no one had used them in a while.
Doesn't Sawblaze use them too?
Well, yeah, Sawblaze is using them out early for different reasons, but both of those teams who are basically work together.
Right.
They were in the same workshops up in Cambridge. But all of them were like, "Ooh, what's a new motor that people haven't, or what's a motor people haven't used in a while? Let's use that." And the Black Max is it's a big beefy motor that used to be used all the time for spinning weapons and stuff. I want to say Nightmare used one originally for weapon power.
Maybe. I think it was always E-Tech, but maybe not. Not sure.
Anyway, it was like the go-to big motor, and I don't know, just kind of fell out of favor, and I guess we found out why the hard way. So I mean, I hope that he gets it figured out. I like how stout and relatively no frills Brutus was, despite the guns. It seemed like it had some balls to be able to really do stuff.
It had some good stance.
Yeah.
It looked really cool. And that's sort of
It
what
looked
I
sturdy.
liked about how he positioned the rear wheels. And, normally these types of weapons look a little funny, especially when the robot's really wide.
Yeah.
And I think that Brutus does a good job of looking succinct without being weird.
Right.
It looks badass. It looks really cool. But it's not, crazy over the top.
Yeah.
What do you think about Tombstone?
What I think about Tombstone?
What
I think the choice for blue wheels was very brave. That's a different color than he's used to, and I didn't know if that was going to distract him or leave it. Yeah,
throw off the weight
throw off
balance,
the weight
right?
balance. Tombstone's Tombstone. It's funny because I want to be able to talk about Tombstone, but there's not much to say. He's got it nailed.
Yeah, the fact that it's a really battle-tested robot it's been the same for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
It's all made by hand.
Yeah, and Ray knows how to drive it. Adam was doing the big old drift all the way around the arena using all the floor he could. And all Ray has to do is twitch a little bit and pivot around and hit him dead on.
Yeah, but you notice how Ray goes one way at the beginning of the match. And I think if Adam had picked the right direction, it might have been completely different.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's like rushing a goalie.
Yeah, it's rushing a goalie with a katana. The goalie's trying to kill you, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna hit you this way. I hope you don't cut my arms off in the process. And
Ray's side was completely exposed at the beginning of that match.
Was it?
Yeah, no,
I was watching again.
He didn't.
Right. Yeah, and I think you could see that Adam tried to go for it, but was also full throttling it and kept going. Yeah. And once the wedges were gone, once the front armor was gone, he was hosed. And in addition to drive issues, clearly.
Right.
If he was able to get the wheels, that would have been a different game-changing action, but it didn't happen.
I mean, at one point after the big hit, Tombstone goes spinning off, and had Brutus not lost drive, he would have had a really great opportunity to go after the backside of Tombstone.
Yeah.
But obviously, got to drive. Got to be able to drive. So, but bravo to Adam. Awesome driving. Had he not lost the wedges, could have kept going. But
it comes down to keep the wedges on, and if it looked like from some of the stills that I was looking at, it seemed that the wedge got ripped off with the wubs with part of the frame.
Yeah.
So maybe that part of the frame needs to be reinforced, or the wubs need to be softer. Or something.
By the end, they did not have a lot left of that frame.
Yeah.
It was pretty cut out.
Gotcha. All right.
Pretty cut up.
Well, for a first year robot, I think it showed that he's along the right track. He's got
He's got the showmanship. He's got the shtick.
I love the guns. They're cool.
I love it.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, people are like, did he just kill him with guns? It's like, no, but that's what he wants you to think.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? For television, it works.
Yes.
It works so well. Yeah. So should we go? Are there any questions?
Yeah, where are our tacos?
Yeah, where are our tacos, delivery guy? We ordered food. What was this?
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. I am hungry. If you work for the Bird Road Taco Rico and you're sitting in your car watching this instead of giving me my fajitas,
shame on you.
Shame on you, sir. So, any questions not relating to Mexican food?
Or relating to Mexican food?
All right, let's go on to the Bite Force Chomp fight, last fight of the night. Greg, get back. Oh, we do have a question?
Does Tombstone's bar spin up faster this year than it did last season?
I don't know. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Yeah, probably about the same instant.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of time to get across there, and you're not going to box rush Tombstone.
Easily.
Like, we realized that there's no box rushing Tombstone.
Yeah.
We were like, we're going to box rush Tombstone last year. And
instantly you're like,
yeah, you get about halfway across the arena,
like,
then you say, no, let me back up, and then we think about it again. What are we going to do here?
And then you're like, oh crap.
The only hope in box rushing Tombstone is not that you're going to hit them at their bar going any slower. It's that they're closer to the arena.
Yeah.
That's your only hope.
Or he doesn't have the perfect alignment maybe as he spins up.
But that's the reason you box rush him, to catch him off guard, not to catch the weapon slow, because that's not a thing.
What type of tacos are best for pit eating?
Any kind of taco.
Soft flour tortillas.
Did you have the goat tacos?
I didn't have any.
Oh, so there was this street vendor selling goat tacos, like super sketchily across the arena or the
across from the event. Across the street.
Just like some random person in a street.
It was like a pop-up tent with some folding tables.
Super
it was
sketchy.
Awesome.
Apparently, I didn't have one, but apparently they were like amazing. So
yeah, I missed
We
out.
had that like Mexican fusion.
Oh, we had some really great food.
but you know what? Maybe that's
I
why
had
everyone
like a
got butt
burger
flu.
taco.
Maybe that's why everyone got butt flu. Did Tyler have any?
I don't know.
I don't know. There's something there. We should investigate.
Should investigate that.
But as far as what kind of tacos go, the filling probably doesn't matter as long as it's like properly cooked and not gonna make you sick. But it needs to be a flour tortilla because otherwise it's gonna make a mess. You know, those corn tortillas, they are tasty.
That's what's critical.
But they are messy.
Pit food needs to be clean, or else you're going to wind up with, taco filling.
Bits of
inside your
ground
robot.
beef and lettuce in your motors.
You don't want lettuce in your
ground
robot.
beef.
Are you
Yeah.
hungry? Are you hungry?
We have a request
Oh.
for Witch Doctor versus HyperShock for season 3.
I'm down.
You can request that all you want.
Well, okay, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you Aaron Kaplan?
Hold on. Yeah. Hey, Greg. Well, HyperShock's there, and I know it works. Does Witch Doctor work?
Yes.
So we could have a 3-wheeled gimp fight.
We can fix our robot. I don't know about yours. Aw, carbon fibers.
No, ours is fine.
Oh, all right.
No, the frame's fine. It runs.
Yeah.
It just has 3 wheels because the axle's busted.
Yeah. and the
Yeah,
weapon's
yeah, it's
busted.
totally fine. Thanks, Paul. It's
Yeah.
it's
That looks
it's
legit.
totally good.
That's
Yeah,
a-
this is pay no attention to
That
this.
would be a mild advantage for us.
Yeah.
If your weapon.
Well, no, I'm saying if we did it like in a parking lot,
A little bit off.
just a pushing and lifting match. I'll have the rake.
Oh, okay.
We'll have the rake. You can have your little derpy self-riding thing, and we'll just 3-wheel it out there.
All right. I
Yeah.
don't know if it'll drive.
We could do it at Dragon Con
All right.
that we're gonna be at.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
This thread has gone all about food and robots.
Well, hey, tacos
What
are
type
serious
of
business.
meat-grease drippings are best for sprocket lubrication?
Um,
Lettuce in your motors? What about houseplants?
All right. So ground beef or pork probably are best, I would think,
Yeah.
for lubrication.
That and
Yeah.
moho.
Oh yeah, pork mojo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Miami.
Well, before this gets too out of hand, why don't we go on to the last fight? Come on in, Greg. All right, Bite Force versus Chomp. What a fight!
Great
Going
fight.
into this, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
I honestly
Can we go back to
didn't
the?
think Chomp was gonna win.
Let's. I don't want to roll the fight yet.
Yeah. Let's talk about pre-fight
pre-talk.
talk first.
Go to the.
Let's speculate about
Tail of
something
the
that
tape
already
thing.
happened twice.
There. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I figured that Chomp was gonna have issues self-righting, which I think they partially did. You know, because it's more of a top-heavy robot. But the I was surprised at how well it performed. It really, I think, dominated.
I
Somewhat.
can't. I mean, I'm with this episode. I think is really interesting how much pre-fight footage they're getting of each team. So they've got a clip of Zoe saying, "Oh, we're going to go right for the chain," and a picture of and Paul saying, "Oh, they're not going to be able to do anything to me,"
Yeah.
So
They got lucky.
It,
I mean,
it's
a lucky
interesting. Shot. Yeah, interesting. I don't know if it can't be staged, obviously, but the amount of foreshadowing before the match was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they got it right for this episode. I didn't know what to think. We're going into the fight where it's Bite Force versus Chomp. These are the two robots that are nothing like the old version except for maybe color scheme.
Yeah. Neither of them can carry the same name anymore either. Bite Force doesn't bite and Chomp doesn't really chomp. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
No, yeah,
It's
and
more like a
It's a chop.
it's a chop.
Yeah, they
Take
just
M
take
out.
the M
Take
out.
the M out and they got a chop.
So anyway, it was just kind of funny to see the two robots that are nothing like their old versions.
yeah,
Which
and
is great.
It's totally
I
great,
mean,
and I personally think that both are better than the originals.
agreed.
Yeah.
In their own
in their own ways.
I mean, Zoe and team did an amazing job with Chomp. I mean, that is definitely the most technologically advanced robot there.
It was almost upsetting how impressive it was.
It's impressive. It's beautiful. It works. I mean, I can't wait to see Chomp season 3.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
if there's a season 3.
Yeah, if there's season 3.
When
hashtag we want season 3.
Hashtag we want season 3.
Yeah.
And so do you.
What?
Where do you send that to? Hashtag ABC.
Hashtag ABC. Hashtag BattleBots. Hashtag me.
That's what's great about hashtags.
Hashtag Octothorpe. Okay. Well, okay. Let's go to the fight. Let's watch the fight. The one thing about Chomp this year that blows my mind is, despite the lack of control and how much it flails around, it keeps working.
Yeah. It does keep working.
Think about how any other robot in the entire event just like stops working because a motor quits, or ESC quits, or a battery gets punctured, inside, or a signal wire comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And here is Chomp flailing around like the bad kid in a preschool, like just going all over the place.
Like a temper tantrum?
Yeah, having a temper tantrum. Just look at him, just wailing around on the floor. Pardon me. And just look at it. There's no control at all.
Oh, it's every hammer throw is so violent.
Yeah.
It's that cup game that you have to
It's the flip cup. It's flip cup.
Flip cup.
Chomp is the personification of flip cup. Great.
Robot.
It just keeps going, and that to me is so impressive. No matter Chomp has its flaws of being so tall.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are things that we fixed on HyperShock, but we're still plagued by little things. It's the fine tuning, and they've got the fine tuning nailed.
No,
they do.
It's amazing
for a first year robot.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Right.
Super impressive.
Yeah, and yes, technically it's second year, and Yasha was in the old show, but it's all
I'm not saying
all
not
new.
Seasoned builders.
It's brand new, and they're they put all sorts of time into testing it and all sorts of stuff.
And no matter how experienced you are, when you make a whole new robot, something's not gonna work.
You're starting from scratch.
Yeah, Biteforce is a good example of that. You saw against Ringmaster.
Yeah.
His weapon quit. Paul obviously been building robots for a really long time. Great builder. Even he has issues.
Yeah, because he'd never used those motors before, and he was asking around all sorts of questions to the builders.
He was doing his research
ahead of time. He does his research, and still he had issues.
Yep.
Well, what's interesting is kind of like Brutus with the multiple small wedges versus one big wedge. Last year he had that beefy wedge that was really strong. And this year he had the little wedgelets, and those came off in our fight. And we didn't have any spinning weapons or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of knocked them off.
Well, so Biteforce, you're talking about Biteforce, right?
Yeah.
Because you said Brutus before.
Well, I'm saying, like Brutus with the smaller wedgelets that break off.
So last year we had those, we call them clippity clops for some reason. I don't know why.
They look like little hooves.
Hinged hooves, right.
Yeah.
So ours look like hinged hooves. So Biteforce kind of has those too, and last year against Bronco, we noticed that they're actually, since they weren't weight loaded, they just kept Bronco far enough away that we really couldn't get a good bite on him. And you'll see that Biteforce, it kind of happened to Biteforce against your fight.
Yeah, I mean, they had until they knocked them off against our robot. They were having trouble getting under our wedge, or carapace.
Yeah,
and I mean that thing held up well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing that I found was really interesting in this fight was that once the weapon was out on Biteforce, Paul went into old school Biteforce mode and drove the crap out of Chomp.
Well, Paul is like
he's the man,
badass driver for sure. Yeah. So, that was
in some capacity. Having the weapon only hindered him because he was trying to use the weapon ahead of time, and once it was out, now it was damaged against him
and distracted him.
Right. It was a distraction from the get-go. Once that distraction was gone, he drove like Paul, and like a champion. And the only reason he lost is because Chomp kept getting good hits.
Chomp got multiple good hits.
Yeah, he did.
Especially the first one.
Yeah, the fact that the first hit was the one that took out the chain was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But you'll see, like, I don't know if you guys have a picture of it, but at one point they show kind of like Bite Force driving away, and he's got this black motor cover.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's another.
Yeah, there's a giant dent in it.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. Yeah, there's a giant, serious dent in the motor cover.
So there was multiple hits to that region of Bite Force.
Yeah, they got
took
good
out the
hits.
chain. That one could have taken out a motor. So Chomp's awesome.
Yeah. Really,
Powerful.
I don't think this is going to go down as one of the best fights of the season, but it was really, it's really well done.
It was the shot heard around the world.
It was the shot heard around the world, the one perfect shot that actually took out a weapon, and the driving from both sides was pretty good.
Yeah.
From Bite Force it was spectacular. From Chomp, relative to how controllable Chomp is, it was
hammer hits
amazing.
are hard to aim.
And then Chomp does like all those crazy flips and stuff at the end, and it's just like it did I don't even know what it was. It was like a kick flip of a
It was like
robot.
the Olympics for Chomp.
Yeah, it was the floor routine.
Yeah, double front flip with a half twist.
Chomp for floor routine 2020.
Yeah.
According to Electronica, this is the Ghost Raptor effect, where you actually become better after your weapon dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's some credence to that.
Did Ghost Raptor ever get better after the weapon died?
Well, once the bar in season 1, once the bar was out, they were like, we're not going to use the bar and just use the lifter and use the attachments.
Subsequent matches.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, in subsequent matches, not in
Not
general.
the same match.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about all the Chomp hate online?
Undeserved.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. Totally
Totally
undeserved.
unfair.
Chomp is, not to harp on it too much, I mean, Chomp is an incredible robot, super well designed. Zoe's a second-year builder now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, their robot is phenomenal. What that team can do is really incredible.
The difference between season 1 and season 2 Chomp is just night and day. Season 1 Chomp, it was too big. The weapon didn't really work. And there were a lot of decisions I think they made because, just of inexperience and, not knowing what's going to really hold up. And they totally changed that this year.
But I will say that even season 1 Chomp was
it was beautiful.
super beautiful inside.
Yeah, the one
well built,
the
all
one
custom
constant.
machined. It was very nice piece of work.
Yeah, the one constant about Chomp is that it is what engineers want to build.
Oh yeah,
It's what all the engineers who build robots hope they would build, but are too afraid to build.
We aspire to that.
Yeah, but we're too afraid. They did just the FEA, some of the finite element analysis on some of their pneumatic parts. Making it as light as possible and optimizing everything.
I mean, it's like military aerospace.
Yeah.
Level design.
And
everything is optimized.
Yeah, they built all the pneumatics. They built the cylinder from scratch.
Yeah.
The giant crank system. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
And you know what? Show me any damage to it.
I mean, like you said, it works the whole match.
It
doesn't stop.
The one annoying thing about Chomp is it's still together.
Yeah.
And even it's gone against Shredderator is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Did a number on Death Roll. Bite Force ruined the ring on Ringmaster. And Chomp's flailing about, not a care in the world, and totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the one problem with Chomp is it's unstable if it misses the hammer throw.
Yeah.
Right.
If they can resolve that, I know they had a magnet system that they couldn't get working or whatever.
I guess they just couldn't get enough pull.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was there, but I mean, if they can get that dialed in for season 3, Chomp is serious contender.
Yeah,
it's already a serious contender.
Yeah,
but I mean,
going into it,
get better next year. I mean,
yeah, going into it, I don't think many people thought much of it. It was like, oh, okay, cool, it's a pneumatic hammer.
Yeah,
cool.
LOL.
Yeah, whatever. It's still Chomp. And then
Bat wants to know, what do you think are the weakest points on Chomp?
The tipping, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if you can get it past the self-righting mechanism effective range, I guess you could say.
If you can take advantage of the fact that Chomp takes some time to reset, then
there
around. Yeah.
There were a couple points in that fight where you see Bite Force is kind of sitting there, waiting to see what's going to happen.
Right.
And knowing what I know now, I would say I know it's going to somehow work despite everything that my brain's programmed to do. So while they're down, let me hit them.
Take them to the hammers, whatever.
Take them to the hammers. If you have a spinning weapon, use it then. If Bite Force's bar had still been working, it could have done a serious number on the outer shell, and right underneath it the tank and the cylinder and all the guts that are carefully packed into that thing. So
it's a power. I mean,
it has weaknesses. It's not perfect, but if they can get the magnets working so they can stay on the floor.
Either that, or I mean, that's something as simple as just changing the proportions of the robot. Like I think BattleBots Update guy called it like the briefcase of death or something like that. You know, because it's
so strange looking.
It's very disproportionate.
It's unlike everything. They did the exact opposite and said, "Oh, you know what we're gonna do? Make it small footprint and tall."
Tall, yeah.
And it still works well. I mean, and Bite Force's weapon is also strong. You know, it's a pretty powerful weapon.
Yeah, it's kind of like Witch Doctors in a way.
What else? Is the Mexican food here?
Tacos.
Is
quesadillas?
Oh, it better be
Any
here.
other questions?
We actually have some general comments. So you guys mentioned Aaron Catlin. He's actually watching the show.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron, we want season 3.
Yeah, give me season 3, man.
So he just had a couple of comments. One is that since there's only 16 teams left now, that producers had a lot more time to film behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh,
We
yeah.
saw some of that in this episode. You'll see more of it going forward.
That makes sense.
And he also wanted to clarify that Ray watching the decision for the Brutus match was actually 100% real.
Oh, yeah.
Actual reaction.
Not to interrupt, but there is Mexican food here. It made it. Everybody clap. Only 2 hours and 12 minutes late. Oh, yeah. Is there audio on that? Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, my God. All right, take it off of that because that's got to be annoying. Oh my God.
So
We'll keep that on loop for the next 2 hours, though.
Hold the Mexican food. Hold the Mexican food. We got, a couple more minutes. We can hold off. Oh, my God. Now I want food.
All right, come on. Let's just
What other questions? Do a Dragon Con next week? That's cool. What's up with that? Yeah, well, if there's no more questions while you guys think of your questions, next week is the final episode. It's the finale, the grand finale. They're going over the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals in 1 2-hour mega episode.
And rumbles, hopefully.
And a rumble or two. I think it's just one.
Hopefully.
I don't know, Aaron. How many rumbles are there? So it's going to be a great episode. It's going to be 2 hours jam-packed full of stuff. It's going to be great. And
don't forget to not watch.
Yeah, don't forget to, in the words of Alex, don't forget to not watch because he's a champ. And
who's food deprived.
And no, it's going to be an awesome episode. We're actually going to all be at Dragon Con, except for Greg because Greg's a minor and he has school.
I'm not a minor anymore.
Oh, you're right. You're 18.
I can pass the pit.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Greg's no longer a youth battle-botter. Anyway, so Alex and I from HyperShock and HyperShock and Paul, Mike, and Andrea from Witch Doctor are going to be at Dragon Con.
Amongst many
Trey,
others.
Trey and Greg from BattleBots
Max from Mohawk
are going to be there. Max from Mohawk, our other brother, is going to be there. Chaos Core is going to be there. Mike, Casey from Poison Arrow is going to be there. Charles is going to be there. Jameson's going to be there. Jim Spintowski's going to be there.
A lot of people.
A lot of robots are going to be there.
Great people.
HyperShock's going to be there.
The robot.
Witch Doctor is going to be there.
The
we're going to bring him. We're driving up, so we're going to bring him, and maybe we'll have him driving around or something. Street fights in a banquet hall.
Just kidding, everybody.
Can't end that badly.
Yeah. Oh, and there are smaller fights at Robot Battles on Sunday and Monday at Dragon Con. So if you're around, you should definitely go see those because we'll all be there. A lot of the builders have little robots, so it'll be a lot of fun. Charles usually dresses up as a Japanese girl, a Japanese anime character girl, Miku. Hey, Charles. But the really exciting thing is that we're going to be watching live the finale episode with Greg and Trey. So if you want to come see that, Yeah, you're not going to be there
We're not
yet.
gonna be there yet.
You're going to be late on Friday. If you want to see it and hang out with a whole bunch of cool people, you should totally come. In addition, I think we're going to try to do a live streaming of Tale of the Tape at DragonCon. So we're going to have everyone. We're going to have Greg and Trey. We're going to have
gonna be cool.
Nightmare. We're going to have Witch Doctor. Poison Arrow is going to be there.
Everybody we mentioned before.
Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to try to get some wireless mics with like actual noise canceling so you can actually hear. It's going to be a blast. So yeah, if you're going to DragonCon, you should definitely find us. Questions?
I just got permission to officially announce that Witch Doctor will be fighting in a Rumble during the season finale, so you'll get to see one more match.
Yeah, all right. So can we say who else is in it?
I didn't get permission for that, but Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor's going to be in a Rumble.
Serious.
Yeah.
You'll have to
It
Yeah.
is possibly the most epic fight of the entire season.
It's pretty great.
It's a big
I only saw the damage and maybe some photos from it, and it's really great. But yeah, so DragonCon,
Oh, that's awesome.
the grand finale next week. Everyone, this is your homework for the rest of August. Buy the toys in late September because Hexbug just announced that they're going to be out in end of September. Sometime late September is what they said. Also, you need to tweet everyone you know. Everybody. Your mom, ABC, high school teachers,
Especially
everybody. Tweet them, we want season 3, because the only way that we're going to have season 3 is if ABC thinks that there's actually fans. And there are fans.
And we know there are fans.
Yeah,
so.
there are fans.
And tell your friends, even if they're not fans. Too.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what?
We want season
Do
3.
it a couple times a day. Go into the bathroom, tweet it. With hashtag we want season 3.
At work,
Yeah.
tweet it.
Yeah. Go into the bathroom, hashtag we want season 3. Yeah. So, any other questions?
This is the most viewed live stream that we've had for the whole after show series.
All right. Well, we guess we finally
We
figured
got
it
Obviously,
out.
'cause it's
You know what?
12
You know what we were
people
missing?
watching?
We were missing Greg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This beautiful pink face. He's like a cherub.
He's hip with the youngsters,
Yeah.
and
Are there
yeah.
going to be any
He
live
bring-
streams during the off season?
That's a good question.
Rule it out.
We should do one out of Orlando.
We might do some maybe from some smaller events that we'll go to. Maybe we can go over some of the episodes that we missed, or in general, if a season 3 is greenlit, that's a real big one. If and when season 3 is greenlit, we could have live streams from our shop here and have Witch Doctor, Mohawk, and HyperShock like concept meetings and stuff, and like hanging out
Giving away our
and machining
designs.
how to machine things. We could go over some of the parts. We could actually do a lot of fun stuff. Tell us what you want. Send us a message. Send one of our teams a message saying Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, carrier pigeon, whatever you got, and tell us what you want to see. Because we can come up here and hang out and talk all day long, but we'd rather do what you guys want to see.
Right.
And there's a lot of cool stuff that we could tell you and show you.
Right. So yeah, if you guys have any content you want to see specifically,
Yeah,
Then-
like
then
if you
let's
just want to watch us eat tacos, we can do that. But you got to tell us. So tweet us on our Instaballs and
Faceballs.
On that note.
and on that note, we're gonna eat some Mexican food because I'm really hungry and I'm really happy that my fajitas are here.
Quesadilla.
Yeah. All
That's
right. So I guess we'll see you next week from DragonCon. And we want season 3. Hashtag we want season 3. Tweet it. All right. See you guys. Bye.